What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Taste Tuesday on Taste of the Game, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
And I'm Chevy.
And quick reminder to play Dungeons Defenders 2. At the end of this week, we'll be talking about it on TasteCast. Make sure to play it, come back, hear what we got to say about it, let us know what you think about it. And as of right now, as of filming, we don't know what the new PlayStation Plus games are. But if you're curious, we did Plus Club last Friday. Make sure to go check that out. We talked about Abzu and Tales from Borderlands. And yeah, once we know what's coming out this month, although there are rumors, and the rumors are Killing Floor 2 and Life is Strange. Mm-hmm. So those might be them, but don't hold us to it. We don't know. But yeah, with that, we have 5 bits of news. So let's get into it. The first bit of news is kind of 2 bits of news, but I'm putting them together. The Netflix-style Game Pass on Xbox One is out. It's available for people who have gold, yeah, and yeah, it's $10 a month. You have access to over 100 games you can download at any time as long as you have access to it. You can play these games, and
it is worth noting that unlike Netflix, though, this is not a streaming. You actually download the game.
Yeah. So you pay $10 a month. You have access to these games. Those games could change, but the news here is it is available right now if you have gold. There is a beta coming out June 1st, so soon. Wait.
Might be when this episode comes out. That's what yesterday. Oh, no.
Thursday. So yeah, Thursday. Look into that if you don't have gold. But if you have Xbox, why don't you have gold? I don't have gold. And yeah, second bit of news with that is Microsoft's Twitch competitor that they're building, originally called Beam, has been switched to Mixer. It's called Mixer now. They say it's called Mixer now because it's kind of like mixing it up with a bunch of different random people. Makes sense to me. A couple features they've added is being able to watch multiple streams at once. This allows up to 4 different streams at once. So you could be watching, essentially, if there's like 4 people playing together, you could be watching all their different streams at the same time, or you could be watching streams from a bunch of different other people at the same time. And there's one other thing with that. I'm all over the fucking place. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the news with that one. So, new name. They added multiple streams, and yeah, Game Pass. What do you think about these?
I think the price point on the Game Pass is right on the money. I think that is a easy to digest amount of money for most people, especially for the amount of content you have access to. And like you kind of said before we started actually recording this, they're really good. Microsoft's really good about like features.
Yeah.
I wish they'd take some of that and make games the common fucking theme that we have.
They have this like group of dudes in the Xbox division just dreaming up ideas that are really fucking neat, just constantly, and they need to like just fucking take a slice of those dudes off and throw them into the development of games, or at least planning games. Yeah. We talk about constantly that they have no games, and they still don't. But yeah, stuff like this comes out, like $10 for fucking over 100 games is a fucking, you said it, like they hit it, like that's
the right number,
price, because it's less than I thought they'd charge for it, and I'd be willing to pay that. Like that's, if they can maintain,
even if you played one game a month on that, you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they showed Halo 5 Guardians on there. Halo 5 Guardians, as of right now, isn't a $10 game.
Yeah.
So even that alone, that's a really fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know if that's going to go up after it like kind of gets out of its beta phase, but I can't imagine it going up past 20. But 10's an insane fucking price.
It's a good number, and hopefully they don't just jack it up unless like they end up going, we have all these features and stuff we want to add to this, but it's going to cost more. It's the only way I could defend them on that. I was kind of expecting to hear $20 as well. I'm glad it's not that, because I think 20 would have been hard for people.
I think 20 is a fair price, but I think it is steeper than a lot of people are going to want to pay.
Yeah, for sure. Mixer. Mm-hmm. I'm not really into streaming stuff, but I actually really love the idea of a lot of this, especially the watching 4 streams at once thing. You could have your entire group of people you're playing with and people could see it from every perspective of the match. I think that is really neat. So anyone playing with 3 other buddies and all of them are streaming, you can literally watch the entirety of what they're experiencing. I think it's a really neat idea.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, what can they do that's going to be that much cooler on Twitch? And it seems like such a simple idea, but it's not, because, I mean, it is a simple idea. But it's a good idea because a lot of times people kind of pick what stream they're going to watch at the time. If you can watch 4 of them, I'm wondering how they're going to do the audio. Maybe there's you just activate which one you want to listen to, or maybe all of them at the same time. But I'm sure they got to figure it out. But that's awesome, because like if me, you, Josh, and Chris were playing something and somebody wanted to watch a stream, they could watch all 4 at the same time, or we can watch each other as we're playing, whatever. Really cool idea. Or if you have people that you follow and maybe someone's doing a show at the same time someone else is doing one,
you can catch both.
You can watch both and kind of pick and choose, which one you're paying attention to, but you're still paying attention to both of them. It's a really fucking genius idea, and it also helps promote more people who are streaming.
Yeah.
Because if I'm streaming, I'm like, hey, you guys should watch blah 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 with me, and they start watching you. Now that's giving you exposure while still maintaining me in their view, which is really smart. Like, you're getting 4 times the exposure because you have the ability to do it. I think it's really fucking smart. Mixer, I'm not a big fan of the name.
Yeah, the name's pretty dumb.
It reminds me of like a drink, a cocktail, or like a cocktail party mixer. I get where they're going with it, and I don't think there's like really a whole lot of names that could go with, considering they're probably all taken.
I think they should have just kept Beam, to be honest.
Beam, yeah, Beam works. I think Beam's simple. Kind of reminds me of Bing too. So like, it kind of was like, oh, Beam, Bing, blah blah blah. Maybe that's why they got rid of it, 'cause it's too close. But Mixer, I mean, I can say it simple, but at the same time, it's not something I hear and correlate with streaming.
Yeah.
If I was telling somebody who doesn't stream, like, oh, how do you stream? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, yeah, I'm just on Mixer, blah, blah, blah. They'd be like, what the fuck's Mixer?
It almost sounds like, and I'm pretty sure they actually mention it in the article, it sounds like a dating app.
Sounds like a dating app. And also for me, it sounds like an audio app.
Yeah.
Like mixing,
Yep.
turntables and shit. So yeah, not a big fan of the name, but the features are cool enough for me to kind of go, hey, whatever, it's an okay name.
Well, and I hope they're able to, that it works out really well, because I know, like, right now, like, Twitch is the staple, and I know YouTube dabbled in, and YouTube did that, has done a couple things to kind of make themselves separate from it, and it seems like these guys are kind of doing something to make themselves separate as well. So this is a good example of multiple people doing something leading to innovation.
Definitely.
And I think it's great. And then those ideas can just keep being bounced back and forth, and the more people we got doing it, the more of these ideas can come from that. And maybe one day it'll actually become something where I am interested in streaming because someone came up with an idea that works for me.
Everything streams at this point, though. Twitter, Facebook, fucking Instagram, everything. So at some point, I feel like everybody's going to be streaming 24/7. It's fucking weird. Like, you could constantly have somebody watching what you're doing at all times. And there is, years ago we'd go like, well, it's creepy, but now we're also welcome to it. It's weird how things have changed.
Yeah.
But without going too far into that, fucking, it's weird when I think about Twitch now, because I stream on YouTube now. I have a Twitch account. I like doing that, and I might still do it, but I do it on YouTube now just because it uploads to the channel, and it's beneficial to us. But the amount of features and things you can do with your stream, the editing tools, all stuff like that, because I can't download it and then re-edit it and then fucking upload it again, offers so much more than Twitch offers. It's insane how Twitch is so minimal and simple, and it's the big one because they started it pretty much. They popularized the idea of people watching people play video games.
Yeah. Well, and it's moddable. So.
Yeah, I guess, but no one really does anything with it. But yeah, I feel like YouTube has more features built into it, and then this also has more features. So it's weird that Twitch, it's kind of doing the World of Warcraft thing, where it built up a fan base, and now it's kind of riding that out.
What I would like to see from Mixer, because right now it states Xbox One PC. I know it's Microsoft owned, but I'd love to see them expand that onto not even just PlayStation 4, but even like if Switch ever does streaming, handheld devices, etc.
I'm done. I missed the whole part of that story with the addition things they're adding. They're going to be putting it out for Android and Windows.
Oh, okay.
Windows Phone, and you'll be able to stream games on your phone or stream yourself on your phone. So they showed like Pokemon Go, someone playing it and streaming themselves while they do it.
I play a lot of Brave Exvius, so.
Yep.
And recently, Chaos Chronicles. I don't know.
So I don't think
gotten into mobile games.
I don't think it'll be very far until we see like Mixer come for PC.
Well, I thought it said PC and Xbox One on the
Did it?
list as well. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, if it's out for that, cool.
Yeah, expand it because Twitch is on everything, YouTube's on everything. You if you're gonna compete, everything, not just Microsoft products. So,
do you think it'll come out for PS4?
I
think it's big enough?
it's smart to put it on PS4 because I understand like not putting your first party games on there, but this is a service, right? The more people have access to the service, the more successful it can be. So, and you mentioned Windows Phone and Android. It should also be on iOS. I mean, like, I understand that Apple and Microsoft are competitors as well, but
also
you're
Android too.
also a competitor with Google, and that's Android. So I don't know. I really hope you keep expanding that service. Treat it as don't necessarily treat it as like this is a Microsoft product. Just treat it as its own product, same way like you do with Mojang, and allow it to do its thing, but oversee it. So,
well, another thing too, I just thought of is it might not even come down to just like will Microsoft allow PS4 to use it, but will Sony allow them to be on there?
Yeah,
because it's not in Sony's interest.
Kind of. I mean, they had a bunch of different streaming services on there, and then they got rid of. I think it was what was it called? It's not Uplay. No, that's Ubisoft's thing. They had another streaming one on there, and they had
Ustream.
Ustream.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ustream's doing very well, so they took that off.
The only difference though is YouTube and Twitch is already established communities that PS4 can benefit from because it's advertising for PS4 games, and it's just it just is good for the community or whatever. But Sony's not in direct competition with YouTube and Twitch. They're in direct competition with Xbox. So if something could benefit Xbox, their competitor, I don't know why they'd feel inclined to want to do it.
Sure, but in the situation like that, Microsoft does treat it as a separate entity and allows it to just do its thing, and it does expand onto every platform. I almost feel like Sony wouldn't have a choice but to include it if it was if enough people were using it. Sony would be stupid to not allow it on there.
I agree with all that. It's just hard. I'm skeptical of it just because like I'm thinking on the flip side now too. Like would Xbox want to have their proprietary streaming service advertising PS4 games?
I mean,
I feel like there's a lot of barriers there.
There's barriers.
I think they should both swallow it though and do it. But we're speculating. So
I think if it was big enough, both companies would just do it. I don't see I don't see them being that bullheaded about it. I see them being more bullheaded with the iOS than I do with the PS4, to be honest.
Why?
Because and it's been a while since I've actually looked, but pretty positive more people own Android phones than iPhones. Just because the amount of different Oh
yeah, no, it's been for a while. Yeah,
because more companies make Android phones and one company makes iPhones. So they're not really. I mean, they'd be gaining obviously by putting it on there, but they're not hurt. That's not a place where they're hurting to do it. There are more people with PlayStation 4s than Xbox Ones, though. So that's kind of just my main point.
Yeah, I feel like there's still like primal, basic pride involved though.
Sure.
But yeah. All in all, I actually really want to see Mixer take off though. I want more competition because I want Twitch to have to get off their ass and do something different. And yeah, if it works, it works. And I really like the idea of the multi-stream features. So
yeah.
Second bit news.
So I'm sure most of you have heard, and if not, Monster Hunter Double Cross is coming out for the Switch in Japan. I imagine it will also go out to America, but that's not confirmed yet.
Definitely will.
The news here, though, and first I might say, me, you, and Chris are super excited for this, and enough to buy a console. Apparently, that's not only our opinion, though, because Nintendo's stock is now the highest it's been in 8 years in Japan after this announcement. In fact, it went up 5.3%, if I have my number right. That's huge. So what do you take from this news?
I think it's really funny that and I don't know shit about the stock market. I know basics, but I think it's funny how good and bad news can affect the investments. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's funny. Like, they literally like, this is going to come out, and their stocks go up.
Yeah.
And someone says something shitty, and their stocks go down. Like, it's so fucking funny. I mean, this just shows that Monster Hunter is fucking popular. It shows that the Switch is fucking in the atmosphere of what people are thinking about. People are thinking about the Switch. People fucking love Monster Hunter, and you announce these two things, and it just boosts the stock. The highest in 8 years. It's insane. And it's really cool to know people. I mean, you said that was in Japan, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it makes sense that people in Japan are big fans of it. I know people are fans of it here, too.
Enough that they constantly bring them over here. So
Yeah. Which is so funny because nobody talks about Monster Hunter. Nobody talks about it. You go on the internet, everybody's talking about it, but nobody, like, you can't watch somebody be like, oh, you play video games? Like, yeah, I love Monster Hunter. They're like, oh, I play fucking Madden or Halo or Call of Duty. So yeah, that's cool. It's cool to hear that they're getting rewarded for releasing something that we all want. As for my own opinion, like you said, I've been wanting a Switch for a while. I was gonna buy one day one. I didn't because like, well, do I want to spend fucking $400 on a goddamn on Zelda? Like, so I spot for Wii U. Still want one. This is the thing that sold it. Once that comes out, if I don't have a Switch yet, I will be buying one as soon as that game comes out. It's the same reason I bought my Wii U. I love Monster Hunter. I actually didn't buy the last one that came out because I was worried that they would release something else, and I didn't want to fucking buy it and move on to the next one. This is the game I want. This is the version of Monster Hunter I want. And yeah, when it comes out here, which it will, I'll be getting it.
So, fun information. If you have Generations, with the one I have, you can transfer your save to this. Yep, because it's just an updated version. The last one. So you can transfer your save to the double cross version. You can also transfer your 3DS information to your Switch. You can have 4 Switches play wirelessly in the same room together. You can have both platforms play together online. So DS and Switch can play together on this version of the game too.
Really?
Yep.
That's just like the Wii U. That's fucking awesome.
So they're doing everything right with this game. And yeah, super excited.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about the 8-year thing?
The stock?
Yeah.
This, it's funny. Okay. This just shows me that when a company does something that people want, they respond in a positive way. We've been saying forever we wanted a console Monster Hunter. We want a console Pokemon. We want console versions of the handheld games. I understand you need a selling point for your handhelds. And I think the Switch is like this perfect answer because Japan has a very mobile-centric gaming market. This system does both. You have both markets, right? Because we like sitting on couches here, on our butts, being lazy, playing video games. We can do both. It's amazing. And now we can have access to these games as well. It's the smartest thing Nintendo's done in a really long time.
Oh, no. So Japan in general, man, is just fucking, as a gaming market, is fucking... They're back, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah. I mean, like, with RPGs, with fucking Nintendo, Mario,
RPGs,
Zelda,
like Neo, and
yeah, like they finally just finally were like, we're gonna join the gaming market again. We're gonna start making exciting shit again.
Yeah,
we're gonna start listening to fans. We're gonna fucking make Monster Hunter cross-platform because that's what you want.
And like, the rumor with Pokemon Star as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just awesome. It's cool. I'm excited about stuff coming out of Japan again.
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome. Third bit of news is pretty simple but kind of interesting. Prey, that game that just came out less than a month ago, is down to $40. You can buy the game brand new, $40. Yeah, it just came out. What do you think about this? I mean, I can speculate all day. I don't want to. But...
To be clear, this isn't at every retailer. This is Target. Mm-hmm. But it shows me that this game isn't moving off the shelves.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me too much because I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, it looks cool, but I'm not really getting anything out of it.
I'm so fucking excited for this game.
And then like you played it and you're like, what did I just play? And
completely disappointed.
I haven't heard anybody talk about this game. Anybody.
Corey, who watched the show, he's playing it, and he actually said good things about it. But all the things that he talked about were the things I liked about it too.
Yeah.
And he might be more inclined to play a game based off like the story and stuff like that. But I really hated like a lot of the aspects of like how lazy the game felt, like the aiming, stuff like that. So it all comes down to what you prefer in the game and what can push you through the game. But I felt like overall, it was not the game I was hoping for at all. It's trying to be so many different games at once.
Yeah, and this could be completely unrelated to why the game came down, because it is a sale they were holding on a bunch of games. Prey just happened to be included on that. It's just the game's less than a month old, and you don't see games like drop like that.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. It hasn't been out a fucking month.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure it's still full retail like GameStop and Best Buy and stuff like that.
It had to have come out, and they had like a minimal sales area that they were hoping for, and it didn't even fucking meet that.
Target, we're saying though.
Sure,
yeah.
but still, like the people who made Prey had to have had some kind of input on that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, I know that the retailer basically goes, this is how much we think we can move, and this is how much we'll buy off you. Type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it would be Target making that decision.
Yeah, and then Target obviously bought too many.
Yeah.
And it's not moving. So.
Which I don't think is a Target thing though. I think that they're the ones who are willing to take that hit to sell it, but I guarantee that reflects the other sales.
Well, and to be fair, to take into some consideration, Target isn't always going to be people's first choice to go buy a video game in. The only reason I ever go to Target is because they very often will have buy two get one free deals on new games, and I'll take advantage of that if there's a bunch of games out at the time I want to get. But it still says a lot, because I doubt Target's buying the same kind of quantities that like GameStop, Best Buy, or even Walmart are buying as far as like selling games, because those are probably going to be your biggest three retailers if I had to assume. I am assuming here, it's just crazy that like the only time I've ever seen a game drop lower like that recently. EA is on a push right now to not necessarily make initial money off their IPs, because they're trying to strengthen their brands.
Yeah, it's strategic though.
But they said it. No one at Bethesda was like, "Oh, we're doing this thing." Like
what he's talking about is Titanfall 2, and essentially, I mean, Battlefield 1
did it a bunch too.
Yeah, but Battlefield 1 does need to strengthen it, but they really are putting emphasis on 2 FPSs and trying to make those common names in the household, like Call of Duty. And I think they're doing it pretty well. But yeah, they cut the prices on both of them
super fast,
multiple times.
Yeah.
Which they're losing money on that. But like we said, it's trying to get those names out there and make it a franchise you're going to buy the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th.
Yeah, lost now, gain later. Yeah. In Battlefield's case, it's obviously DLCs and expansions. In Titanfall's case, they have a cosmetic store. So
yeah, and they have a fucking great game that fucking more people need to own, and they know it, and I know it. So go buy Titanfall 2. Even if you only like single player games, it's a great single player.
It does have a solid single player.
Yeah.
So whoops. Well, I'm gonna have to read off yours because I just got rid of it.
Yeah. So Prey, $20 off. If you're interested in it, go buy it. They deserve money. I don't want to see the game fail. I'm not a big fan of it, but I know people who are enjoying it. But that is super fucking telling that it's not selling.
Yeah. So through June 3rd, you can go to Target and get it for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for $40. PC version is not on sale.
I almost want to fucking buy it for $40. I mean, that's cheap as shit. The game was, I wasn't into it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, other deals, since we're talking about it, Skyrim and Dishonored are $30. Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2, $30.
Overwatch is $36, Battlefield 1 is $38, and Mass Effect is $40. So
Mass Effect's already down to fucking 42? Jesus Christ. That's another game. I won't buy that game, though. Like, I won't touch it. I don't want it. And I did. I did want it.
That was my most anticipated game, and I haven't bought it yet.
That one burned me harder than Prey.
4th.
Yeah, 4th news.
So, Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you weren't sure or knew about it, was actually not being made directly by Square.
This was a gorgeous game.
It was overseen by Square, but another company was making it for them. They have decided to bring it back in-house to make it now. So it is changing departments. And the guy in charge of it currently works on Final Fantasy Mobius, which is their mobile game, and it's also on Steam. And he also was the lead programmer for Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. How do you feel about their decision, essentially? And what do you think that means for the game?
I don't know what it means for the game, honestly. Like, I read this a couple times, and then hearing you talk about it, like, it makes sense because I didn't know they weren't building it in-house. Who's doing it?
It said somewhere that it was being... Of course, it's not this article. Go ahead and share your opinion. I'll look it up.
Yeah, moving it from... The move concerns me because I want to know why they did it, but also what kind of assets they might lose in that move. Also, I want to know what was going on with the outside, the people working on it already that made them want to move it in-house. It does make sense to do it in-house, though, because it's probably cheaper for them. They're working directly with those people. They probably have better assets to work on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fucking just saying whatever right now, but... I mean, if they felt like this was the best option to do, then it is. But I'm curious on how it will affect the game. As for the guy who's taking charge of it now, I don't. What the fuck is Final Fantasy Mobius?
It is a mobile game. You play as one character who can switch jobs, and a lot of mobile games use what's called a gacha system, where you can roll to get random things, whether it's equipment or new characters and stuff like that.
And was Final Fantasy 13 what, 3?
13 Lightning Returns. This is the third one.
Third one, yeah. Is that good?
No, hold on. I want to emphasize that he was the lead programmer for it, not the director of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely changes it.
Yeah.
I was like...
He was involved in programming the game, not in the actual creative process of the game.
That's completely different.
So, and I'm sure, like, on a technical level, the game functioned just fine.
Oh, yeah.
The company that was working on it was a company called CyberConnect 2. They'd worked with them in the past. And that company's best known for working on Naruto games. The reason they brought it back is the main factor was just quality control. They want to make sure they know what's going on.
They want hands-on at this point.
Yeah. So I get it. I don't think it has anything to do with CyberConnect. I'm sure they were doing fine, but it sounds like
I actually think it's fucking better than, like, in that aspect. They make the Naruto games like fucking or Naruto games. I mean, I'm sure Naruto fans like those, but like they're making Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad it's back in their hands. I'm surprised they even did that in the first place. They probably did that fucking in the beginning just because like, oh, it's just a remake. But now they're probably realizing that it needs to be fucking good.
Yeah.
And yeah, like outsourcing to anybody makes sense in certain ways, but not for a high profile game like that.
Well, it kind of makes sense at the time though because they were still finishing up Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they had started working on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
So
they might have the resources.
They had two like main IPs coming out, and a remake probably wasn't top priority at the time.
I wonder if it was planned that way in the first place.
It might
to like kind of
have
them work on it by proxy, and then
because I guarantee these people still got paid to work on it.
Well, no, that would be the news.
That would be the news. Yeah, exactly. And at this point, they just go, okay, we have the resources to do this now. As far as the guy is concerned, I didn't play the Final Fantasy game, but I don't think it's fair to use Lightning Returns as a factor here because he was just a programmer.
No, and after you said that, out of my mind. I'm not even thinking about
Mobius, though I didn't personally enjoy playing it. It's a mobile game, so it's hard to kind of draw too much from it. It is a beautiful mobile game.
I judge mobile games on their own merits.
But what I can take from that is it's probably one of the nicest looking mobile games I've seen, and the systems were neat. It's an action-based combat system, which is nice because the remakes of Final Fantasy 7 is also going to be action-based.
Do you know if that Mobius game is successful?
They brought it to Steam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It seems to be doing just fine. They have multiple like free-to-play games on mobile now. They have Record Keepers, Brave Exvius, and Mobius, and I believe all of them are doing just fine. I play Brave Exvius.
He won't be leaving it
every day.
Yeah,
So.
you do. You really do.
Um,
It's become part of your daily routine.
It is, and you know, it's got really good elements there, and I don't want to like start talking about the game too much, but essentially, like they did a good job, and that's not made by Square. It's made by a company called Gummy, who made a successful gacha game before that. So they literally just said, "Hey, make your game, but with our characters, because it's the same game almost."
Kind of like Pokemon Go being the games they'd done prior to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same idea. Skin it, and look how it's doing fine. I think they just hit their 1 or 2 year anniversary. I can't remember. So, and they just gave away free currency for a month over it. So,
yeah. Overall, I think this is better coming back to them. And if it was a pre-planned thing, or what, like you said, is a really good point. They had a lot of shit on the table. Have someone else get it started, bring it back. Prep before they cook it. Makes complete sense. The only thing that concerns me is the move. I don't know what that involves, but moving it from one developer to another one to bring it back. Hopefully, there's nothing that's lost in that move.
right.
That
Not that
does
we've
happen
really
sometimes.
seen too much on it.
But it does happen. So I hope that doesn't do anything to it. But I don't think it will. It's the only concern I have.
Well, and as far as Square goes, I mean, Square recently we've covered it already is getting rid of IO Interactive, and the reason was to focus on their brands. And this seems like another move in that mindset. They want to focus on their brands.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're bringing that in. So, but speaking of IO Interactive,
segue to the fifth bit of news, which is Hitman may survive sale of developer IO Interactive. To put it short, they're trying to get rid of IO. They're going to sell it. They want to, at least. But they're not quite sure what they want to do with Hitman. They don't know if they're going to sell it with IO or if they're going to rent it out, keep the property, rent it out to people, or sell it individually. But pretty much they want to keep Hitman as a franchise alive. They don't want to kill it off. Quote from Homeboy. I don't know his name because it doesn't say it. But Square essentially said, our decision to withdraw from IO Interactive business was the result of a review of our portfolio that we conducted as part of our effort to concentrate on our resources in order to strengthen or develop capabilities. Because the firm is engaged in development of Hitman and other renowned titles, we're negotiating with prospective external investors capable of ensuring that these titles carry on. Essentially, Square doesn't want to kill Hitman. What do you think about how they're handling the sale of IO and how they're handling trying to preserve Hitman?
for a company cutting the fat, they're being super fair.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's really weird because usually you always hear these stories and the company's just like, and I'm going to actually call out Microsoft on this one. You're not making us money. Bye. It's over. Close doors. Right? They're not even trying to do that. They're just trying to say...
We're shut down Scalebound.
Yeah. They're literally just going, this isn't part of our plan going forward. Mm-hmm. But we also don't want to see any of this go away. So I'm going to make a guess here. I honestly think EA would be a company who would be interested in this.
Yeah, I'd like to see. We actually speculated on this. I think maybe was that the episode we deleted? I don't remember. There was an episode we did, I think like a week ago, where we talked about this a little bit, and I thought that EA was a good contender for it, but also Ubisoft.
Yeah,
I think Ubisoft would be great with it, just because
with Hitman for sure.
For Hitman for sure.
Yeah.
As for the way Square's handling this, when the news originally broke, I thought that. No, that wasn't chicken shit, but it was like that's a little extreme. But it was the cold. It was a cold way of handling business because a lot of people do this. You're not making the money we want. Get the fuck out. Yeah. That's what it seemed like at first. That's what I assumed at first.
Right.
And then the more we're hearing about this, they are being really responsible because what they do with this could kill off a franchise that's been around for a long time, and that would be shitty because I'm a Hitman fan.
Why in a company?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's important too, but I'm sure IO will be fine. They're going to move on, but I don't want to see the rights to Hitman dwindle or disappear. The Square keeps them but doesn't do anything with it, or they sell it off to some weird fucking like company that no one's ever heard of because they have the money to buy it and they bastardize it.
Right.
I'm glad that they're thinking about the preservation of that brand. I'm sure IO, like I said, will be fine. They'll move to a different company, or they'll be sold to another company, whatever. They'll make whatever. But the rights to Hitman concerns me, just because I don't want that franchise to disappear. It's a really good one for the most part. They've had a couple blunders, and yeah, whether they sell it to somebody individually, hopefully somebody like EA or Ubisoft. I really think Ubisoft would nail it. EA, I could see them buying it. Activision, they wouldn't touch it.
Well, and I wasn't saying that in the regards of like what would make a good Hitman game. I was saying like this seems like EA is like, they seem like anytime someone's having some trouble with whatever company they work for, EA is like, hey, come work for us.
Yeah, but with Bungie, it was a little different because Bungie's like the dudes who made Halo.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so
it wasn't
they're definitely like
just them, but yeah.
Well, actually, Destiny is that EA or is that Activision?
Bungie is Activision. You're thinking Titanfall.
Titanfall, yeah. Both examples. Both companies were like, we need to fucking get them
But
right
I mean,
now.
Bungie makes complete sense for Activision. So
Yeah. Yeah, because they like to run things into the fucking ground. Look at Destiny. Anyway. But yeah, this is probably the most responsible I've seen a company of this size handle a situation like this. It kind of reminds me slightly of like when THQ was going under and they're selling their assets and shit. It was a fucking circus, man. Like,
oh no, that was crazy.
There was just fucking brands flying in every direction, and people were just like snatching up 3 of these and 2 of those. Fucking all dark.
They brought their fucking grocery carts and
yeah, it was like a fucking garage sale, man. And then THQ just disappeared. So like, it's not on the same scale. You know, Square's not going under, but they're selling something. But it seems like they give a fuck who they're selling to and how they sell it.
You know what also shows me? And this may be kind of pessimistic, but they don't want to appear like a bad guy.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Because if they appear like a bad guy, then I start going, hey, Square's a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy their shit.
They're trying to... They want to be as... what word do I want? PR friendly as possible about it. It seems like.
Oh, it's like fucking you have something that's like your favorite thing ever, and I fucking take it from you, just hold it. I'm like, I can break this right now, right in front of you, or I could give it back, or I could give it to someone who's gonna take care of it. Like, you know, yeah. Even if it's not a moral issue for them,
Yeah.
they do need to appear good.
Yeah.
They do need to appear like they give a shit and taking care of things, because I'll judge the fuck out of them, and so will everybody else. Especially when it comes to things that I care about.
Well, and especially since they're, in the last few years, repairing a damaged
Yeah,
game.
they can't fuck up right now. Like, they're still working on things. They got to have a couple more things pop out and make them money. Final Fantasy 7, don't fuck it up, before they can start being dicks again. This does make me curious about, and a lot of people probably won't give a fuck about this part, but Kane and Lynch. I like Kane and Lynch. I like the first one, I like the second one. I don't think they're amazing games, but I think they're pretty cool. I feel like that series is fucking dead, though, at this point. I think it's gone. I think it did okay, especially with the second one. I think the second one did a little better than the first one. I don't remember. But now them did that great, and now with this move, I think that's dead weight to both Square and IO.
Yeah, I think so, too. And then this other part's interesting. I guess they were working on a new IP.
Yeah.
So I wonder what'll happen with that, too.
I think it's gone.
So
I think it might get sold, whatever assets they have to it. But depending on how far they were along with it, if it was like early stages, that shit's gone.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that they were going to salvage that, because they got bigger things to worry about now.
Yeah.
Keeping their company alive.
Well, and they still had, as far as Hitman's concerned, they still had plans
Season
for
2.
seasons. Yeah. So.
Which still hasn't been addressed really. I think one of the quotes did say, though, that Square recognized that there was still stuff to do in Hitman, like still things they were working on. So at least they acknowledged that there was something going on there, and they're interrupting that. Because it seems kind of cold if they're just like, oh, fuck it, fuck whatever the fuck you guys are working on, we're getting rid of you.
So what I've taken from this episode of Tasty Tuesday is that Square seems to care a lot about their image lately.
Public perception, yeah.
Because even with the wanting to take care of their franchises, that's an image thing for sure.
Yep.
So.
Which is good, because in my opinion, I mean, it's really funny. We live in interesting times, socially and politically, but also in video games. I had a big problem with Nintendo for a long time. I had a big problem with a lot of their games. I know, I'm horrible. But they finally made a console that I think is like a console. They made a fucking awesome Zelda game. I said it. And the new Mario game looks awesome. They're working on shit. Square, I had a bad fucking taste in my mouth with them with a lot of shit they were doing, bastardizing fucking brands like Parasite Eve and making just these shitty like Final Fantasy offshoot games that like weren't received very well except by like the major fans. And now they're fixing shit. They're making good games. They start off with the fucking fan service stuff with like Final Fantasy 14 and a couple other games. They moved on into like Final Fantasy 15, which was well received. I thought it was good. And now they're making Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7. And with a situation like this, where they are focusing on bettering themselves, which I think they need to do.
Yeah.
I don't hold them at fault at all with that. Like they're on a good fucking roll right now. They need to stick with it.
And obviously they didn't make it, but they were responsible for financially for Nier Automata. So
were they?
Pretty sure they're the publisher.
Oh shit! Fucking good job on that. Damn. And Tomb Raider. Even though it's IDOS. Yeah, they need to maintain that focus and that public image, and they are on a good streak right now. And even when they are trimming the fat for their own benefit, which I understand, they're not doing it in a sleazy way, which is awesome. It's respectable.
No, and
being transparent.
Like I said earlier, to call out other examples, you brought up the THQ thing. That wasn't necessarily a company selling off things to trim the fat. That was a company going under.
That was a fucking ship sinking, and they're throwing all the shit off to fucking see if they can make it float again.
Yeah, and then Microsoft's been super cold when it comes to like killing things off.
Oh, dude, they'll fucking.
I mean, Fable in the studio, their Lionhead. I mean, they it's just like, okay, bye.
They're swift, man. They fucking put you in the guillotine and they fucking drop it.
Boom. They didn't even know. Yeah, that it was. I think they found out.
Yeah.
After everyone else already knew, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, Microsoft's gonna fucking just get rid of people.
And then Scalebound. Obviously, they can't get rid of Platinum Games as a separate company, but they killed one of the IPs they actually had going for them. And even like. But the one thing with the next one I'm going to mention, Activision is another company like that that's just kind of cold. But Activision's not pretending not to be. If you ever watch interviews with the CEO of Activision, he's straight up he's just like, I'm here to make money. And that's it.
He years ago said something about he could fucking sell you anything.
Yeah.
He was talking about he could make something and you'd buy it for sure. I was like, you're right. It's weird to hear you say that though, because you run a company that makes games that people love. But Activision is very much a company that finds an IP that does well, takes it, and just runs it to the ground till it's done, cuts it off, we're done, and fucking moves on to the next thing.
Rinse and repeat,
So they've been lucky recently with Call of Duty. Well, not recently. They've been lucky with Call of Duty for a long time, but like Tony Hawk, fucking, not Rock Band, but Guitar Hero. So many games. They don't even make that many games. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm babbling. What do you guys think about the whole thing on Square Enix? How they're handling the situation? Any opinions on any of the things we talked about? Let us know. But do you have anything else to say on that?
No.
I don't want to cut you off. I'm not trying to be Activision. Fucking get rid of you, Microsoft. But yeah, let's get it for this episode of Taste Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me out, my streams on the channel. If you missed them, they're uploaded. And yeah, as always, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until the next episode, which will be Friday for sure. Between there'll be streams. We're doing Tastecast episode 29. It's a good one. I know psychically. I just know it's going to be a good one. Have a good week, guys, and take it easy.